This is Mammoth Land episode part 2 featuring Dogmeatlives. Thank you for listening.
I will say, like, one cool thing that I thought about, and I is that, like, from Bethesda continuing like Fallout, is that people are familiar with like the general concept, which I still think is super cool, and I like that it's like kind of become what's the word? But it's sort of like a known thing, like
a big IP, as I say in the biz.
Yeah, but it's it's like the 50s mixed with Mad Max, mixed with like old school retro sci-fi.
Yeah.
It's cool.
Yeah,
It's cool that people get to experience that. Even though, Fallout 3, Fallout 4, New Vegas,
76, lest we forget.
Oh, Jesus. No. But it's cool. Now you mentioned 76, I'm almost like, is it cool? But no, it is cool that like it's become a thing. You know what I want to see though is books. What the fuck? When are we getting Fallout books? That's what I want. I don't want like a TV show. I don't know about you, but like all these TV shows where they're like, oh, this is the golden age of television. You can make you'll get 5 seasons of My Little Pony real time starring, fucking, I don't know, some famous guy. Tom Hanks is the main guy. But they all they're not that good, I always kind of get the feeling like, when I'm watching these shows that go on for like more than 2 seasons, that they're just kind of like making it up as they go along.
Yeah.
And I'm like, it's like these guys are just making this shit up.
Yeah.
It's like it doesn't hold my attention. Like, give me a good movie.
Yeah.
I'll give you like 2 hours of my life if you give me a good movie. I'm not sticking around for season 5 to see like what made up character is going to do to prolong us into season 6 so I'm 1 year closer to death. Just give me a movie.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm sorry. I totally like getting off topic, but a book would be great. Fallout books. It's like, what the fuck? Give us some books, Bethesda. Anyway, that's my little soapbox.
And we already have the movie. We have the Wasteland Radio movie. So that's done.
Oh, yeah. Thank you. Yeah, no. Yeah, it's like, good point.
Speaking of these newer Fallout games, there was this pretty recent article last month on a site called Screen Rant. It's called Every Fallout Game Ranked Worst to Best.
Okay.
And the worst games are Fallout 1 and 2. So
those were the worst games, they said?
Yep.
Like the worst.
I'll read you a few quotes.
Damn.
They haven't stood the test of time.
Yeah.
The first 2 games are easily skippable.
Yeah.
So skippable. Lackluster
gameplay make them mostly unenjoyable to play for those who are used to modern day gaming. But that point, I mean
that's true.
Yeah,
I would agree with that. But come on, you have to have some kind of historical context.
Yeah.
Like if it's tough. Like if you're a younger person who, I was right in the sweet spot, like 13 when I played the first game. Like that was kind of perfect for like my imagination was there, and it took me on a wild ride.
Yeah.
But if you're like 13 now and you try to get into Fallout, like I totally get it.
Yeah.
And I totally get like if you're ranking them for yourself or maybe a fellow audience. But I don't know, man. That's a
Fallout 2 is best. What was number 1?
Yeah.
I'll list them. That's sharing the worst place is Fallout 1 and 2, and number 4 is Fallout 76.
Wait. I'm sorry. Fallout 2? Or I'm sorry. Where
number
was
4,
Fallout 76?
Number 5 is Fallout 1 and 2. They share the worst place.
Oh shit, man! Oh, ouch!
And Fallout 76 is 4th. It says the online-only Fallout 76 isn't a bad game,
okay,
but missing a lot of what makes the offline title so enjoyable.
It's not a bad game, no.
And third one, which is my favorite of the newer ones that I have played, is New Vegas.
Okay.
Second one is Fallout 3, and best one is Fallout 4.
Okay.
This is the wrong way around.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I mean, these lists are like, I feel like they do it to piss you off. So they get comments of people who are like, yeah, you idiot. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, here's a quote from the Fallout 4 one. One of the best parts of Fallout 4 is its base building.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Oh, yeah.
If you're into base building, I'm sure it is.
Right. Yeah.
Fallout 1 and 2 suck in that sense.
What is this list from? Basebuilder.com?
Screenrant.com. I'm looking at other headlines on the sidebar. There's things like Minecraft player builds Shrek's head out of rare emerald blocks. So it's like a
sounds good.
Good bit of journalism right there.
One of my biggest gripes about Fallout 1 and 2 is that there's absolutely no base build.
Yeah.
Which I mean, if there's one theme of apocalyptic fiction and in general is that is building stairs.
Sure.
And placing them where you want them.
Yeah.
So I have to admit, Fallout 1 is missing the essential aspect of base building, or really house building. It's not even like a base. It's just like build a hut.
Yeah.
Yeah, hut building.
If I had any word in the development, I'd like to be able to choose between teak and maple for the cabinets in my base.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a head scratcher for me, man. That was a real head scratcher. And I mean, of all the things people are like, what's funny is like, I don't want to be like a Bethesda gripe dude, but Fallout 3 came out and people were like, oh yeah, this is fucking great. Which, I might say a lot of what they thought was great was Fallout. It wasn't Bethesda, it was Fallout. It was, the settings and the aesthetic. Anyway, then New Vegas came out and they're like, this is greater. Can you be more like this when you do 4? And they're like, no, but you can build a shack now with machine guns. And it's like, what? What? That was a head scratcher for me, man. It always has. It still is. So I don't understand why base building became a part of the Fallout universe. And it would be cool if it was like build a kind of a re-established civilization at some outpost.
Sure.
And you kind of saw it develop over time based on what you did. But it's literally like the bed isn't going to fit there. You know what I mean? Fuck me, man. I want to be doing fun stuff. I don't want to be like, not enough light in this room or whatever, like needs more water for people.
The Sims.
Yeah, like, who, why? Anyway, I'm like grumpy old man complaining about Fallout now, but that's to me that's always been like I literally don't understand why that was the direction.
Did Fallout Tactics or Brotherhood of Steel not make the list?
Oh yeah,
not on the list.
I'm sort of not surprised if they couldn't even be bothered to make a 6th place for the two like the foundational entries. They're like, just put them on the same number.
Yeah.
We never actually played them, so I can't say something different about each one. Just make them both 5.
Yeah, they're basically the same. Neither has base building. What's the point?
Yeah. You can get a dog, but you don't even get to pick the collar.
Yeah, no modding, really.
Yeah, no modding to speak of. Yeah, no big boobs mod. Sucks. Worthless.
I'd like to get into Fallout 4 mods, maybe, because I've seen that's a whole kind of Morrowind-esque kind of world of giant hand trees and all sorts of stuff like that.
Yeah, yeah.
Sexy anime armor.
Right, yeah. I want it to be like a lush forest. Really, I just won't want it to look like Fallout anymore. It's so depressing. It's really dreary if you think about it.
Yeah. Very minimalist sort of landscape.
Which is another problem. I'm like sitting on a porch complaining, but another problem I have with these East Coast with Fallout 4 specifically, and then New Vegas, or not New Vegas, but 76, which I did play. I've put a couple hours into New Vegas, 76, just because it's Fallout, you know. But anyway, is how like lush it all looks. You know what I mean?
Mm.
Like it kind of looks pretty. It's like why are we killing each other? Why don't we just plant potatoes and be friends? You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
The first two games like were so blighted and like oppressive, and even Fallout 3 was like, oh god, this is a hellscape. But then you look at 4 and there's like trees that have like leaves on them and there's grass, and I'm like, why don't we all just settle down a little bit? You know, like you can get the city mutants. You go over there. You stay over there. You can have the city. The humans will hang out here. In our nice, lush, you know, like where there's water everywhere, and we'll just farm. It's totally cool. And then the raiders come along. What are they so upset about?
Yeah.
But they want to fight, even though I've got the turrets. I've got like 10 turrets, and they're like, ah, like dude, just no. There's empty buildings that have guns and stuff in them. Go over there and can food. Why are you fighting me? Attacking my people? I don't understand. That's another thing where it's like, I don't get that. Like, oh my god. And then the synths. Don't even get me. I'm not going to start. Guys, let's move on. No, it's another topic. Yeah, no, another topic, please. Stop. I get annoying with this stuff, but yeah.
I never really liked the Brotherhood of Steel that much. Those seemed a bit too fancy. Bit posh. Posh lads.
You mean, you talk in the newer games, or?
Throughout the entire franchise, I never thought these guys are likable at all, and they all seemed a bit mean.
Yeah, no.
I like the mutants.
I don't think they. Yeah, I don't think they were supposed to be likable. Like the Brotherhood of Steel, I don't think like in the first 2 entries they were. I don't know. Brotherhood of Steel is like Jesus, that's a clusterfuck too, man.
I felt like it was sort of this righteous faction, but then you sort of realize that it's pretty fascist. Well,
yeah.
Yeah.
It's morally like ambiguous.
Yeah, I feel like definitely the later games, though, it makes them. Oh, these are the cool guys.
Sure.
Right, with the choppers and stuff.
Yeah. Well,
I mean, they're basically like Space Marines. I mean, they're like, you know, like they're the Wasteland Marines. Hoorah! Let's get in there and see some action. You know, it's like the least cool way to perceive this group. But I guess and they got blimps and shit. Well, I guess that's an established. I can't make fun of the blimps, even though the blimps are a little silly. But I don't know. The Brotherhood of Steel's weird. The whole thing is wonk at this point. I feel like they did a lot of wonky stuff with the factions. In my opinion, because I don't think they have any like ideas. I think like creatively, it's like bankrupt at this point. Oh, you know, with the Bethesda boys and Fallout. I don't know. I don't see anything like interesting. You know what I'm saying? Like I've played 76. I played through 4. I played through 3. I played through. Well, New Vegas was good, but like it's sort of like it's like rehashing. And when they do new stuff, it's like ew. It's kind of like that's not that good. Sorry, I'm complaining again. I'm sorry, guys.
That's what this podcast is all about.
Yeah.
Complaining about Fallout. Yeah. Sorry. And you know what? I said to myself, don't be complaining about Fallout, dude. And look where I am now. I actually said it to myself. I'm like, don't do that. It's annoying when you do that. Yeah, stop. Sorry.
Do you do this often?
Yeah.
I hate the Fallout fans. I hate Fallout. I hate all this stuff.
I eventually start complaining about it. Yeah.
It's good to complain, though. I feel it's very easy to be positive, isn't it? But when you complain about something, you've really thought about it.
Yeah, and you know what? I'm right. That's the thing that hurts the most.
Yeah.
Is that I'm always right.
Stuff in it.
It
Stuff
is
always
tough.
being right.
Yeah, it is tough, man. Yeah. People don't agree with you, especially when you're right, and you're like, why can't you just see the right way?
No.
Yeah. Listen to me. I'll repeat my points and then maybe you'll get it.
And you just get it. Yeah.
2024. Dogmeatlives for president.
Yeah. Running it the right way. That's what I'll call it. That'll be my kind of slogan.
I'm going back to online journalism for a bit.
Sure.
There's a bit of breaking news. Saint Proverbius has returned to post on RPG Codex, as in post news on the site after who knows how long.
Is it still a site that exists still? RPG Codex?
It is still a site. I mean, for a long time, I think it's been mostly a forum.
Oh, okay.
I mean, they have posted news, but it's news that you can get anywhere. They was just reposting stuff,
right?
You know?
Yeah.
So it's been.
I thought it was dead.
Yeah, it's been kind of like Duck and Cover, except they have much more active forums and front page. But kind of similar in that it has been very forum based, I think. But I've been checking out the news that he's posted lately, and it's interesting stuff. Kind of more indie games, roguelikes, and sort of these smaller titles. It's good stuff.
Which brings me to a topic that I wanted to ask you guys about, which is like, what are you playing these days?
Actually, I started replaying Disco Elysium today because they released the final cut, I think, yesterday.
Yeah, I saw that.
I'll download it.
He added all of the inner voices have spoken dialogue now as well.
That's good.
So you, I heard that was really good. I haven't really played. I don't know. It's hard for me to get into RPGs anymore. But I should try. No, I hear like everywhere. It's like best game, of the year or whatever. So I should try it.
Half the people seem to love it, and the other half hates it.
Yeah.
But it's more of a really narrative, but like a game novel, or what do you call the genre?
Oh, okay. Like it's more like a more narrative driven, I guess.
A lot of talking in it.
Yeah, a lot of talking and no real combat mechanics, for example.
No combat?
There's some bits, but it's done through dialogue. But basically, it's all talking and all story.
You can throw a ball in a pond.
I don't know if that would be for me.
Yeah,
I don't know. I've gotten dumber when it comes to playing games. Shooty and punchy, and that's the extent of mine. So how about you, Megatron? What have you been playing?
Stardew Valley, quite a lot of it.
Really? Okay.
Play it cooperatively with my girlfriend.
Okay.
And we have a right laugh. We don't really know what we're doing, but it's nice just wandering around, planting stuff.
Is it couch co-op? Do they have?
Yeah, split screen.
Really?
So I go in the dungeons and get the slimes.
Right.
And she goes fishing.
What do you play it on?
PlayStation 4.
Really?
Yes.
I had no idea. Yeah, my wife loves it. She was playing it for a long time. I didn't know they had couch co-op.
I'll get involved.
Yeah, maybe I'll try it.
I think it came out last autumn, I think. I don't know. Don't quote. I'm not a games journalist. But I think they did this featuring. So yeah, it's a laugh. It's quite a relaxed game.
Yeah.
I always like games where you can pop in and out. You know, or I can do half an hour and I've done something. So, aye, works out grand. What about yourself? What are you playing?
It's sort of in the same vein. It's I've as weird and nerdy as it sounds. Minecraft is like my thing. I've had like this one world that I've played in for the past like 5 years at this point, and every like 6 months or so, I'll get like really back into it, and it is kind of just like it's relaxing. I don't know if you guys have ever played it, but it's just it's sort of relaxing. You just kind of build stuff and you mine stuff. There's not really a goal to it.
That's my issue with games like that. I've noticed that I definitely need some sort of a goal or a story.
Right.
I've never enjoyed sandbox games. I played Minecraft for a bit, but after a while, for me it just gets pretty boring. But I can totally see the appealing, sort of a relaxing thing.
Yeah, like I'll get people to play with me every once in a while, like friends, to just kind of pop in and play in my world once in a while, so that's kind of cool because it's like, oh yeah, I can show them this cool thing. So it it's kind of weird when you're just playing by yourself and you're like, look at this house I built, me. You know? But I don't know. Yeah, it's kind of relaxing to jump in like every once in a while, and I get into it. Have you guys ever heard of Battle Brothers?
No, what's that?
Oh my god, dude! This is a game that I wanted to recommend to you guys. It's my favorite game of like the last decade. It's basically you create like a squad of guys. You're mercenaries, and you like upgrade their armor. You give them swords and stuff, and you just go around and do like assignments for like lords and stuff, like go track down these bandits or go fight this orc camp. And your guys like beef up and stuff, and it's like super tactical. It's turn based. Mm-hmm. You can have a squad of I think up to like a dozen guys on the field, and you know, you have spearmen, you have like a back line and a front line, archers, two-handed sword dudes eventually, and it's hard. It's like super hard. Like it's a roguelike, I guess, in that way. I don't really know, but you'll die a lot. It's very hard, but it's so much fun. Like trying to create like the perfect squad and gear sets and that's another one. Those are like my two recommendations. Minecraft, which I don't know if you've ever heard of in Battle Brothers. I'm
looking at screenshots right now. The combat looks a lot like those Heroes and Might and Magic games.
Yeah, it's kind of not. It's sort of like what's the word? Oh God, I can't come up with words. I don't know why.
Do they just when they attack each other, they just like move up a little bit? Go like, ee.
They have. They kind of like shake a little bit.
Yeah.
But the sound effects are great, man. Like they really make it up with the sound effects, and it's deceptive. When you look at the screenshots and even like gameplay videos, it's sort of like, but you know, I think I just tried it at a time. It kept getting recommended to me in like, you know, forums where I was looking for some game to get into. And I was addicted, man. Like first time I played it, and it is like when you kill a guy, when like a guy dies, the sound effects are amazing. Like they just have them like gurgling and shit. It's gross. They're like, you know, they do the work on the sound effect end there to make up for the fact that all the guys are just little heads and shoulders.
It looks cute, like the little eggs.
They are like little Eggman, but it's like it's tactical. Like it's the most like if you go on the subreddit for Battle Brothers, there's guys making up spreadsheets about, you know, like the best build, the best two-hander, you know, the best archer build and stuff. And so if you're into that, it's kind of fun in that way.
One more game that we've been playing with some of the DAC folks is Sea of Thieves. It's this pretty new, I mean, it's a couple of years old, but that's new to me.
Right.
Pirate game where you have basically you play it with a couple of friends. You can have a team of up to 4 people, and then you just sail and do dumb stuff. There are some quests you can do, but I think most of the fun comes from, you know, just doing stupid shit and just the voice chat, talking with each other, launching people in cannons, and, you know, setting your friends on fire.
You guys, a lot of you guys play it? Because yeah, I see in the Discord like there's always somebody playing Sea of Thieves.
It's me and Amis and Hyacinth. And then there's a bunch of Amis's friends, I guess, who play it. But it's good fun every now and then. It's pretty casual. There's no real progression. You can buy stuff, but it's all cosmetic.
Sure.
But it's fun to just talk for a bit and monkey around. And you can actually buy a monkey in the game. You can buy a monkey for $5. Does absolutely nothing, but you can I don't know, you can throw it in the sea if you want to. I actually stole this guy's monkey in one of the games. It's pretty funny, but I wouldn't play it like all day for weeks on end because there's no. Like I said, I need some sort of goal.
Yeah.
So it's more of a social experience, really.
Yeah, I guess I'm sort of like I've become sort of the opposite. I mean, you know, the two games I recommended are like really have no big story. Like Battle Brothers has like almost a procedurally generated like sort of developments where you're kind of working toward like end game crisis, but not really like you must go do this now or you know this is our story. I don't really have, I guess, an attention span anymore for like games with stories.
Sure, I get that. I'm a huge fan of Nintendo these days because they have so many casual games that you can pick up for half an hour and then just stop. So
yeah.
If you have other stuff in your life than just games, then it can be a pretty big commitment time-wise to play something that takes 100 hours to complete.
Right. Yeah, that's a big That's a big thing now. Like when I was younger, I could just sit for hours and play games.
Yeah.
But now I start feeling guilty, and right, like it's got to be something I can just drop in and out of, and be like, you know, like Battle Brothers will be like, I'll play a couple missions and then end it. And I mean, it takes a while. It's turn based.
Yeah. And
there's sometimes like over a dozen guys on the field. So you know, a mission can take like a good half hour. And then Minecraft is just me. So I just jump in when I don't feel like doing anything else. I just kind of jump in and build some stairs or something.
Yeah. I remember when I first tried out New Vegas, I played it pretty intensively for something like a weekend. Then didn't have time to continue it for a week or two. And when I picked it up again, I had no idea about what was going on in the story. I couldn't even remember the controls, anything like that. So it can be pretty tough.
Yeah, at the same, like I've tried playing like multiplayer stuff, like Call of Duty. I kind of got into. They had like a World War II game that came out a few years ago. I got into that weirdly because I'm not usually very good at that stuff. But since then, I it's been hard to get into. I don't really get into that stuff because it's kind of like I'm not good at it. And yeah, like I'll forget the controls, and then I suck. You know, I just play like a noob again, even though you know what I mean. Like you're out of it for a while. You've got to devote so much time to it in order to not feel, bad about it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's not really fun if you're just constantly dying, is it?
Right. Yeah. So those games I can't really, and like the Fortnite type games, like I've tried some of those, like Apex, Legends. My brother plays a lot of this stuff, and he's actually good. So he kind of like gets me into it once in a while, and I just suck. It's worse. It's worse with those because sometimes you don't meet an adversary for like 20 minutes. You've just been scrounging for like ammo and stuff. And you meet them. Then
you just get, sniped.
Yeah, and they're better than you.
You're just running around for a good half an hour, and then someone just snipes you, and you don't even see them.
Right? Yeah. It's a little weird. It's weird that that's become like the big genre.
Yeah.
Is that what they call it? Yeah, I guess genre.
Yeah. I quite like those games because I know I'm going to die. I'm not going to win.
It's like life.
Exactly. It's like having a walk around or kind of jump. I used to be alright at Fortnite. I've won quite a few.
Really?
But yes, it's possible. And I used to play a bit of Warzone last year. This was it Call of Duty thing?
Yeah.
And I didn't win any of them. But I like just dicking about in a lot of them sorts of games. I've never really been that good on online multiplayer type of stuff, but I do enjoy it on the whole. I used to really be into Team Fortress. That were good.
Oh yeah, wow.
I was a big fan. Yeah.
Yeah, I never played Team Fortress. I guess that was like the predecessor to all this. Maybe? I don't know.
It was a Half-Life mod, wasn't it, originally?
Quake mod originally. The first Quake, yeah. Then they made it. It was called Team Fortress Classic. That one was for Half-Life. I never played that one, but when Team Fortress 2 came out, I put in quite a lot of time.
Yeah.
Did you ever play Overwatch? That's pretty similar to Team Fortress, actually.
I never did. No, I would probably suck at it like most of these other games.
I'm interested in it. I'm open to the idea of it. I quite like a lot of those sorts of games. It looks a bit like a Unreal Tournament, which used to Kane back in the day. Quite like all the colours and particle effects going on.
Yeah.
It looks alright. Were you a high gold tier kind of player?
No, I mostly played on the public servers.
Yeah.
I tried to get into the competitive thing, but it was... The word is toxic now, isn't it? People were assholes all around.
Yeah.
Getting really angry for losing or someone not doing what they wanted. So that wasn't that much fun.
That's not fun.
Yeah, but the casual mode, the public servers, that was, you could play a little bit and have a little bit of fun.
I always like it when someone takes on the role of, I'm the boss of this team.
Oh,
and I'll tell everyone what to do. Just because I imagine that kind of person in real life must be really lacking.
yeah.
Sometimes it can be pretty fun though. Like if you have a group of people who actually obey and there's a bit of coordination, and then you can actually kick ass. Because on the public servers, everyone's just doing their own thing and messing around.
Right.
But it's pretty balanced in that sense, because usually both teams are equally bad. But that's one of those, they play at really like pro levels, don't they? It's one of those esports that are really, really popular these days. So it's really competitive if you want to. I'm
like a sucker for and I can't even, now that I'm like about to let this come out of my mouth, I can't think of a single game. But I like the I guess PvE sort of like wave type games that are, a lot of times they add them as like little dinky modes. But God, I can't even think about one. I mean, my favorite I think ever was they had like a zombie mode for Red Dead, the original.
Yeah,
that was probably my favorite. But I suck against real people. I'm just never good. I think I just have something's wrong with my reflexes. So I prefer like playing against like hordes of baddies, where I can feel like, yeah, I'm good. I don't suck.
Yeah, I'm the same.
It's good to feel like you're chipping in a bit rather than being against other people who knows what sort of technology they have, cheats.
Right. Yeah, there's also that. Yeah, I guess. Yeah, where it's like, yeah. But also, yeah, it really can sour. Like when I have played Call of Duty, when you're just like racking up the deaths, it's like, it's depressing. And then you get to the end and it's like, oh, I died a lot. Me and the 10-year-old with voice chat. We suck. So yeah, I kind of, I think it's more relaxing for me to play against like I like Call of Duty Zombies for that reason, because it's, it's just hordes of computers, and it's not as stressy for me.
I used to really like Left 4 Dead. That one good.
I really like that one.
A good laugh.
Let's talk about podcasts for a bit.
Oh,
okay.
Since this is a podcast and all.
Yeah, right.
It is, I think.
First of all, there's the new podcast in town, Mama's Rejects. Did you guys listen to the pilot episode?
I have not. Is it airing now or something? Or one of them's airing? Is it the second one that's airing now?
I think they're recording the second one now, and they put the first one up last week.
So now, what's the pitch of Mama's Rejects as opposed to Mama's Gang? It
says it in the name, doesn't it?
Yep.
Oh, it's the one. Oh, okay. So people you guys can't be bothered with?
Oh no. They just want to do their own podcast, I think.
Oh, okay. All right.
So it's been a creative community, and I think they wanted to do
Amos, right? Who does the
Yes, and Saint Hyacinth.
Okay.
More the merrier, I say.
Exactly.
Yeah, I mean, I'm surprised Dak doesn't like rule over podcasts. The fact that Joe Rogan is in the game and not you guys, it's sad.
I know. We should have switched into a podcasting community.
Really? I mean, yeah. That would have been fun.
Do you guys know what the median number of listeners is for podcasts worldwide?
Median?
Yeah, like the number of listeners podcasts have on average.
On average per episode?
I guess. I just have this statistic in my head. I don't remember the details. Don't ask me.
Okay, all right. I'm just going to throw out like 20 actual listeners per episode.
I will go for 486.
Dogmeatlives was pretty close. It's 27.
Oh, wow. Yeah, because I feel like there's a lot of people who just put out shit. Nobody cares about, like, their uncle listened to it once.
Like this podcast.
Hey, you got to start somewhere, man.
Yeah, we're pretty far from median, and to be fair, I don't think there are, enough members to actually get to 27 right now.
Someday, you guys will be propping up the ones and twos.
Maybe. Do you guys have any favorite podcasts that you'd like to recommend?
God, I'm not really honestly, I'm not a huge podcast listener. I like audiobooks. I listen to those pretty much all day. But podcasts, honestly, I can't think of any that I listen to like habitually.
I used to listen to Chapo Trap House and Cumtown quite a lot.
Oh, Cumtown. Yeah, Cumtown, yeah.
That's up near your end, isn't it? Ish.
Yeah. Yeah, they're in New York, aren't they?
Yeah. I think.
Yeah, like I'll listen to their clips sometimes I used to on YouTube. I sort of like went through a phase.
Yeah.
Where I was into their stuff on YouTube and then got out of it.
Yeah, same here. Nowadays I record more than I listen to. So this podcast.
Yeah, we're leaders, not followers.
Right. Yeah. Well, I should have said except for Mama's. Wait, is this Mama's Land or Mama's Gang? What's the name
Mama's
of it?
Land.
This is Mama's Land. I'm sorry, I misnamed it before.
By Mama's Gang.
That's sort of.
Oh, by Mama's. Oh, right.
Yeah, but I'm in the same boat. I prefer audiobooks. I was thinking of this the other day. If there are any podcasts that I really like, and there's one called Mother Made Podcast, and it's about the origins of Israeli-Palestine conflict, and it's a pretty niche thing, and it's like a 5-6 episode production, so it was pretty much an audiobook in podcast format as well, so that's saying something. But I do listen to some Finnish just political commentary and media commentary, stuff like that, but I really don't regularly listen to anything.
No, I dip in now and then. But...
Yeah, I mean, I feel like a lot of podcasts are just people like bullshitting and trying to be funny. That's what's bad. That's the worst part. But also like thinking their stuff is like interesting enough to. You know what I mean?
I do, yeah.
I can imagine.
Yeah. I know, I'm not trying, not like this.
Different from this.
But
not too dissimilar.
Yeah. Not like you guys.
I think there's a difference in the sense that we don't really pretend that this is interesting at all. We just do it for fun.
Right, yeah. Like I guess I'm talking about, I mean, like what I think is like almost like Joe Rogan-y, where it's like, that's not really interesting to me. Like, I don't think he's an expert on anything, so I don't really want to hear him talking about anything. And I don't know, he's not really that funny to me. So I'm sorry, the point I was getting to was like, I think nonfiction is more interesting in that way. Where it's like, usually they have a script. That helps. And so that's, I would probably be in the same boat where I would find that more interesting than like, hey, we're three guys who we're all roommates and we've got opinions.
Yeah, that's the thing. There's like if you listen to some sort of a bit more serious podcast, say to experts talking about something, it's still a really superficial. Like I could just listen to an audiobook that handles the subject matter much better. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Right. More tight, concise.
Yeah.
Right. Than people just going, I think, and you just give me the audiobook. Yeah.
Exactly.
I've not listened to many of these true crime ones, but they seem really popular. But I don't.
Yeah. The true crime. Yeah. I feel like
I don't know how I feel about it.
Might be depressing.
Yeah. I don't really want to hear about. Oh, we don't know who killed this girl 20 years ago, but we'll investigate and at the end
describe her death in detail.
Yeah, fuck that. But they seem really popular, and I'm fucking sick of it. But same with these Netflix documentaries, like fucking or whatever.
Yeah, I can't.
I don't think I could ever get into them. I mean, it's funny. Like I dig horror. I've been on like a horror kick recently, like short story collections and like been looking into like more obscure stuff that from like the 80s.
Stephen King, that kind of thing.
Yeah, like almost like sub Stephen King, but around the same time. And what's cool is like there's a lot of it on Audible has kind of made a lot of it available, and that's like the one monthly subscription that I have because like I work by myself pretty much all day, so I get through like a book a week or two. So I'm sorry. Like horror is cool is one thing, but like hearing how an actual person died, brutally, and it's sort of a downer,
A little bit.
Like I don't think I'd be like, ooh, let me tuck myself in and listen to how they tried to get away with murder tonight.
Yeah.
For me, I'm more interested in the big picture of things. So if it's a podcast or a Netflix show about, hey, this unknown person got killed 50 years ago and we're going to spend 10 hours on it, why should I care?
Right, and ultimately, like, they don't really learn anything. It's like the ghost hunts where they're every episode, they're like, tonight, we're going to do it again. Completely fail at our job. It's like, they just reveal, they just kind of rehash this historical story, which like, there's probably a book that exists already.
Right.
It's the same thing you were saying before, like, there's probably a much better book that this is based on, which is often the case. Like a lot of times when I see movie trailers, I'm like, there's probably a great book that's already out there that I'll try. Which sounds kind of snobbish, but I'll read the book. No thanks, moviegoers. But the book is better.
Yeah. Passion of the Christ is alright, but I prefer the book.
Yeah, that's based on. Yeah, but
Definitely.
You know what I'm saying? Because I don't, but I'm sure you do.
Well, maybe it's similar, like listening to people's voices versus reading DAC for years, because I imagined it this way in my head, and now I can hear them.
You know what? That's a good. So I'll ask you this. I told you guys that like you sounded like almost like a robot. And Gimp Mask, I don't know if you had an internal voice, but my voice, my personality, do you think different, same, pretty much what you expected, or you have no idea?
Quite dog based, I'd say. I think because the avatar and name,
like Scruff McGruff.
Yeah, like kind of malarkey.
Yeah.
I don't really have any expectations with this stuff, so I don't really have an internal voice for anyone. I have maybe sort of a mental picture, but it's always a surprise regardless, because it's nothing like I imagined, because I never imagined anything to begin with.
Right, yeah. Yeah, it was kind of weird, like the first time I visited Man Oil in real life.
It's a good name, isn't it? Man Oil.
Which is... what's that?
It's a good name, isn't it?
Yeah. It was weird because, like, and I had been friends with my Facebook. I'd seen, like, pictures of them. And you see them, and you're, like, great friends. Even though I think we talked on the phone, maybe a few times, a handful of times. Mostly it was, like, text chatting. And then I see him, and we're, like, it clicked. It clicked, like, right away. It was really sort of an odd experience.
Mm.
You know, like he didn't really. It's weird, man. But yeah, it's like the same kind of thing where you hear a voice for the first time, but like also meeting them for the first time. It's like it's weird. But I guess it's pretty common in the internet age now.
Yeah. Did you reenact any of the smileys? Like, did you salute each other? Did you chew?
No,
Chainsaw?
I don't know if we did any of it. We didn't really do anything. I don't even know if we talked about Fallout that much.
That was what I was gonna ask.
Yeah, I don't even think we like. I think it was just like, visiting his neighborhood and hanging out. Yeah, I think at that time we were kind of just neither of us very interested in Fallout anymore. But yeah.
Hey,
Have you guys ever met any Dackers yourselves?
No.
I don't think so. But you never know.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what? You never know. Right, exactly. It could have been your doctor.
Could have.
You just don't know.
Dr. Dreadnought.
Yeah. Wow, my doctor was very hateful. Yeah. But yeah, who knows?
I think the closest one I lived to was Jon Mank.
Yeah, he did it in Manchester, didn't he?
Yeah, Jon Mank.
Oh, I don't know. I'm sure if I would have to see it spelled to like no.
You would recognize it from the avatar, I think.
Young man. Yeah, it'd probably have to be Avatar, yeah.
Yeah, he was pretty active at some point.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I don't really remember. It's funny. I don't really remember much from like the. I remember the vibe. Yeah, I don't really remember like conversations or specific. Like I remember you guys.
Sure.
Yeah.
But I mean, aside from like the big King of Creation and some of the other guys. Yeah, I don't really remember like specific people that well or like what they were like.
Yeah, it's the same for me. There are, I guess, the people I sort of communicated with the most, but for the most part, I don't really remember people or how they were. And even if I remember a username, I don't really have any kind of a picture of them. But it's coming back in bits and pieces now that I've been spending a bit more time just looking at the forums.
Mm.
Yeah, it's like coming out of a coma almost.
Yeah, pretty much reconstructing my scrambled brain.
Who's president?
Yeah.
Yeah, man. It's been So how's Corona been for you guys?
It's all changed in Finland.
Yeah, I mean, actually, there were some big laws that were gonna happen, but they were deemed unconstitutional, and no, nothing is happening. But we've had it really easy. There might be some sort of a lockdown coming, but yeah, easy.
How about you, Mike? Where are you?
It's a good question.
Yeah.
North England. In Yorkshire.
Okay, all right.
Well, I lived in Manchester for a long time. I'm from to the bit of England. But we're still in lockdown here. It's slowly lifting.
I suppose it's a weird year. The whole thing was and depressing, sort of depressing.
Did it change much with the change of presidency? Like the rules you have to do and...
No. I mean, no.
Okay.
It's just I think for me personally, it was kind of like I wasn't a Donald Trump fan. But it's just kind of like I'm glad I don't have to hear about the guy anymore.
Yeah.
You know, like it's sort of relaxing in that way. Like I don't like Biden at all.
Nah.
I think it's really goofy that he's the successor.
Yeah. It's a knobhead.
But yeah, just to like not have to hear about it all the time, you know. And to some extent, I'm kind of like the hate was sort of I think like overrated against the dude. But at the same time, it's like he seemed to me to do the wrong thing constantly. Where I tried to like, you know, be skeptical and try to give benefit of the doubt a lot of the times. But like even in that case, I'm like, dude, this is not the right time to be going wild on Twitter. I mean, not this year, man. Can we give it a break? And no, that was not the case. I think Joe Biden, like rightly, was just like, I'm just going to disappear. I've got nothing to say.
Yeah.
I mean, the whole country is going through this like insane period of time. The best thing you can do is just like not rock the boat. And so, I mean, I think that's what's going on now. I think a lot of people are just kind of like, let's just get back to normal for the most. But you know what I mean? Like, I think just like let's not to normal, but I think people are just like fatigued. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
For sure. In Finland, the biggest issue as for the numbers of contagion, what you call it, has been that people have been having house parties, meeting friends, because we haven't really had any rules about it. There's a recommendation for it, but nothing. It's not illegal or anything, and it's not enforced. And now the numbers are on the rise because people are having house parties because bars are closed, things like that.
Yeah,
I think it's just telling more about how people are getting pretty tired of loneliness, mostly, I would say.
Yeah. That's tough, man. It really is like it's been like I guess eye-opening in a lot of ways, but more depressing. I think just like. I don't know. I don't want to say depressing. I think it's been kind of like it just gets weird. I don't know if I've even learned anything from the whole experience. It's just like been so odd. And I just hope it's over eventually, I'm glad that like they're vaccinating people and stuff. I'll be honest, like I'm at this point I stopped kind of paying attention to like the numbers. I'm just kind of like put my head down and, go to work, come home, and hope eventually this will be over.
It's like they live, but you don't need to wear sunglasses anymore.
Right, yeah.
You just know it's shit.
yeah. But like we have restrictions on like the number of people, parties and like you'll see news stories every once in a while. In like the more populous area where like weddings are broken up or big parties are broken up. I'm not really a big party guy, so I don't really give a shit. But like there's that. But it's interesting because it's like I don't think I don't think a lot of people have ever been through something so socially major and It's weird because it's like almost every interaction you have can have an effect on this major issue. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So like I think everything is affected in some, and people people make it political, and then everything become it's kind of like political for a lot of people, and it's weird. Like I've been I've continued to work the whole time, and I work in like stores and stuff. And I've seen people like have freakouts and stuff and not want to wear their mask and just complain about how all this is fake and stuff. It's weird, It's just like it's a weird thing that we've been through.
Yeah, definitely.
One thing that's really interesting about this whole huge social experiment really is these days we're more connected than ever. I mean, you can have a video call with your whole family at the same time.
Mhm.
But it's become really obvious that it's not a replacement for actual contact at all.
No, yeah, I know what you're saying. Yeah, it is. Yeah, it's like I'm sort of a solitary guy for the most part, so I don't think like that's been something that I've been super attuned to. I would say in a way it's almost been like I've enjoyed it more, like kind of the less talky, less people getting in each other's face, and
Yeah.
you know, but it has been like depressing. Like it's rough. It's rough to be in such like a weird time.
Yeah, I do wonder what effect it'll have on people, like in a few years' time. Like people, probably, I think a lot of people just won't be bothered going back to work as much, or going to social occasions. I think it'll be a lot more fractured kind of thing. But then I think it's all about the online communities.
Yeah, I think like even more so. There's I would surmise that there's been even a larger retreat into the inner mind and the of the internet. You know what I mean? Like
TikTok,
like TikTok, and I mean just it's weird, man. Yeah, we really live in strange times. It's getting strange right now, but we'll see.
Yeah,
but it's always interesting, you know. As a fan of sci-fi, I'm loving every minute of it.
Yeah, definitely. No, I had a really good year last year, but all things considered.
I would say, like I personally, I had I would say I had a pretty good year. It's just it's weird. I think just an odd feeling. I don't know. I would say like kind of certain elements of it have been kind of like depressing, I guess, and kind of just the continuing of like status quo and almost pretending almost pretending against all evidence that like we're just chugging along here. We'll just keep chugging along here, you know.
Yeah.
At least that's the way it's going here for the most part. But but like the weird restrictions and stuff, and just kind of like the obtuseness of certain people where they're like, oh, well, how come, you know, you hear the argument where they're like, well, how come I have to be 6 feet? Is there really any scientific evidence that that's the magic number? It's like, well, no. It's just these are public officials who are trying to come up with some kind of rule that people can try to adhere to. You know, like none of this is perfect. You know, but like, and to some extent, like I get the weirdness of how people are like very skeptical because this is very this is all real weird, and there's easily exploitable. I think, you know what I mean. Does that make sense, or am I getting like sort of conspiracy theory?
I get you.
You kind of see where I'm going. At the same time, it's like, you know, I mean, we're like, it's a weird thing. It's a weird thing to like have a plague-like thing. It's not plague-like, but this kind of thing, like an invisible threat that affects like a lot of people, and you can either believe in it or not. You know, like it seems like some people, you know, in some places, it's been weird.
What's that? Well, they'll believe in God, but they won't believe in the bloody virus. What they like it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I need to go.
Oh, right. Okay. Well, it was fun.
Yeah,
thank you,
I've
guys.
enjoyed
I appreciate it.
Nice chatting to you.
Thanks for joining us.
Yes.
Thank you for having me.
Have a good rest of the day. Have a good Easter. Eggs and that.